Monday, December 22nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, hundreds still waiting for power to be restored after a weekend storm knocked them off the grid. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And holiday etiquette. Julie Blake-Hamo, the most polite person we know, will join us with tips on how to avoid any festive faux pas.
Plus, keeping Christmas merry, bright, and safe. Firefighters share simple tips to keep holiday hazards at bay. All that and so much more coming up on the Monday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, good morning. Happy Monday to you. And happy winter. Winter solstice has happened. It is winter officially, and that means that every day from here on in, for a while anyway, she's getting lighter and brighter. Yay, I'm excited about that.
Yay, looking forward to that. And so many people joining us this morning too. They are really starting their holiday vacations right now because students are out of school now for the holiday season, which is an exciting time.
That's true. And if you're watching, you're not used to watching us because you have the day off, welcome. We love having you here. You can watch us on Crave now.
Yeah.
If you don't have cable. But if you have power, you're much luckier than most. You recently only got restored to power. You were out for a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, kind of put a halt in my holiday shopping, holiday prep. But what can you do? I'm thankful that we did get power back Saturday night. And I know many are still without power, which I know can be grueling, really.
Yeah, we still have hundreds without power in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Maritime Electric, though, on PEI, only reporting one customer without power. So sorry for that person, but
like, that's me.
Yeah, that was me. That's me. But crews have been working throughout the weekend to restore power. I mean, at its peak, we had we had tens of thousands of Maritimers in the dark this weekend.
So it was incredibly windy this weekend.
Very windy.
So where are we at this morning?
Well, not as windy across the regions. Still going to see a bit of a breeze early this morning and continuing to the afternoon, but sunshine for the most part and just a chance of flurries moving in for much of Atlantic Canada. So not too bad starting off your day and starting off the work week.
Well, there they are.
The flurries.
A beautiful look at Lunenburg early this morning. You can see that flurry activity already has begun in your area. A chance of scattered flurries expected in your area throughout the day today. Currently -1, and then factor in that wind chill, feeling a bit cooler, especially when you factor in that wind as well. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. Currently -10 degrees in Edmonton, -8 as you head out in Fredericton, -4 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown with -3 in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot colder this morning. Temperatures will warm up a little bit later on, but as you can see here, a cold start to the day right across Atlantic Canada as we kick off the first official week of winter. We do have that frostbite advisory in effect for parts of Labrador City and Happy Valley Goose Bay this morning as those temperatures factor in that wind chill feels quite cold. A snow squall watch in effect for Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia for this morning until Tuesday morning. Could see up to 15 to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls and wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. So early this morning, we are going to see a chance of flurries for much of Atlantic Canada. Also going to see sunshine for the most part as well as the sun begins to rise. We do have a bit of shower activity for parts of Newfoundland early this morning as well. In terms of the wind out of the north and northwest, as of right now, sustained wind 46 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 35 into Grand Etang, 33 in Canso, and 30 into St. John, New Brunswick. Factor in that current gusts right now getting up to 56 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 46 in Grand Etang, 41 in Moncton, 37 into Grand Manan and Greenwood. We'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Hundreds of Maritimers are still without power this morning after high winds knocked them off the grid Friday and Saturday. The storm knocked trees down, toppled over signs, and turned traffic lights into four-way stops. At its peak, over 129,000 power customers in the Maritimes were in the dark. Utility crews have been working around the clock to restore power. This morning, more than 900 customers in Nova Scotia are still waiting for their power to return. Restoration times range from this afternoon to tonight. And in New Brunswick, more than 500 customers are still off the grid this morning, with restoration times there ranging from this afternoon to tomorrow night. The hardest hit regions were the Fredericton and Sussex areas. People in the greater Moncton area woke up to very high winds Saturday, making it a pretty hectic day for the city's fire department.
It's been a very busy day for us today. In fact, we've had to call in an extra truck and man it due to the high volume of power lines down. And we would urge anybody that has a generator to make sure you run it outside and in a well-ventilated area. Do not run it indoors at all, and that includes inside of your attached garage.
NB Power says it will be a multi-day event before all customers have their power restored, and those restoration efforts are continuing this morning. Police in New Brunswick have made 2 arrests after threats were made at a school in Rexton last week. The RCMP says it arrested 2 youths in connection with their investigation at Eleanor W. Graham Middle School. The pair have been released from custody and are scheduled to appear in Moncton Provincial Court in March. The Rishabukto RCMP received reports from members of the community on Sunday, December 14th, that threats were being made toward the school through social media. The school was closed last Monday and Tuesday out of an abundance of caution while the investigation was carried out. The RCMP have not revealed what the nature of the threats were. HMCS St. John's returned home to Halifax this weekend after 5 months overseas. CTV's Emma Convey was there on the jetty to capture the emotional homecoming.
They've waited months for this moment. There's only one sailor the Hardenden family is looking for. As Eva grips her sign, it's big smiles when she sees her dad returning home.
I'm very excited to play games and do stuff with him.
They've been counting down the days. It's been 250 without Eric, their husband and dad.
The kids, it's hard for them because of school and their dad gone, and we've had sick family members, so it's really hard on everybody. So I guess I'm really proud in all of us for surviving it.
His Majesty's Canadian ship St. John's departed from Halifax in July. It joined the standing Maritime Group 2 in the Mediterranean Sea.
Spent about 120 days underway with them patrolling the Mediterranean, the Eastern Mediterranean, working with our allies and partners, as well as providing deterrence and assurance measures with our NATO partners and allies. We were then re-rolled up to the High North, where we joined Standing NATO Maritime Group 1.
They traveled up the coast of Norway, working with the Norwegian Navy for what has been part of the Canadian Armed Forces' largest overseas mission. And after a quick stop in St. John's, the crew of 241 arrived home Saturday afternoon, a last deployment for Commander Jeffrey Anderson.
We'll never sail together again as that exact group. There's something a little bit sad about that, but knowing that we're going to have all these great experiences, memories, and lessons to take forward and to apply that to the next group, and we know we're setting the next ship's company up for this ship for success. It's a good day.
Families couldn't hide their joy during this reunion.
We're very excited. He's actually coming home to Kingston, and it's emotional. It's been a long time. I'm happy for him.
It's been such a long time. I missed him. Communications aren't that good when he's all away in the ocean.
It's a moment these sailors have dreamt of for months.
The moment that I was able to cross the bow, all the emotions hit. I got all teary inside, trying to hold it in, be strong for the family, but I feel so happy being able to touch them and actually hug them instead of FaceTime.
They're home just in time for Christmas.
I'm hoping to play with him and go out to fun places with him.
We're really excited. Yeah, he needs to come home.
I love you, Daddy.
After months apart, a safe return is all these families wanted for Christmas. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Oh, no matter the deployment, to have your family come home safe and sound, especially just before the holidays, every time I see these jetty stories, I think about being a kid and waiting for my dad to come home on the ship. He served on the HMCS Charlottetown, right? Those unforgettable memories for families. So happy to hear everyone's back and all together.
Thank you for running that, Amanda. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, I don't know what will on this Monday morning.
Very true.
Certainly not this. Paleontologists in Egypt have uncovered the earliest known crocodiles. Oh. Yes, crocodile. Look at that. That's the skeleton of it. The newly discovered reptiles lived about 80 million years ago. Scientists say the discovery is helping with the understanding of crocodile evolution and filling a gap in the fossil record of North Africa. The fossils include 2 partial skulls and 2 snout tips. Now, crocodiles is doing the research on the weekend, ironically. There's my children and I were having a chat about it. They're more vicious than alligators.
Really?
Yes, they're bigger and stronger and much scarier.
Wow.
If you had to get into a battle with one, you'd want the gator over.
Okay, good to know. Keep note.
Keep that in mind, and next time we run a story from Florida.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, too cold for the Gators around here, though.
They do not like cold. It's bad for them.
Don't like it. Hey, it's good for us, right? Keeps us strong. Latavia is going to have our first full look at the forecast coming up, and I'll have your national news headlines as well. Good morning to all our viewers in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Students at St. FX. Well, they're home with their families. We certainly hope so. Exams all done. The forecast coming up.
Happy Monday, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at St. John's, Newfoundland. Starting off at 5 degrees, so quite a warm start to your day. Expecting a few showers early this morning before clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies in your area. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and it is a cooler start to the day as well. As of right now, it is -8 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, -4 starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, much colder over in Labrador City at -19 this morning. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for parts of Nova Scotia, across Prince Edward Island. This is for this morning until Tuesday morning. We could see up to 15 to 20 centimeters in snow squalls, as well as wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers per hour. So still seeing a bit of active weather early this morning. We will be waking up to a mix of sun and cloud for much of Atlantic Canada, but we do have a few showers early this morning for parts of Newfoundland, Cape Breton Island, Prince Edward Island, seeing some flurry activity early in the morning. And then into the afternoon, we will be seeing that mix of sun and clouds, still seeing a chance of some flurries for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Taking us into tonight, still going to see that flurry activity for parts of Atlantic Canada. And into early Tuesday morning, we are expecting more sunshine ahead, but also a bit of flurry activity lingering as well. If you're wondering about the snowfall outlook, it's going to remain quite light, seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters in snow accumulation across Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia, the heaviest being into Cape Breton Island at around 5 to 10 centimeters. And then for Newfoundland, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation across the province. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Looking at a chance of flurries clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from -11 to -6 degrees and wind out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. Prince Edward Island also seeing highs between -4 to -1. Flurries and looking at that risk of snow squalls into the afternoon. Wind gusts of 50. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at some scattered flurries throughout your day today. Daytime highs between -6 to 1 degree, actually 2 degrees being the warmest into Canso. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at daytime highs between -3 to -1, and scattered flurries also expected throughout your day. We'll be seeing sunshine as well. A high of -19 degrees in Labrador City, still looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day. 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Showers start off the day clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and then flurries arrive into the evening. So looking ahead into our forecast for Tuesday, still seeing sunshine. Clouds will continue to clear out for parts of the region. Still going to see flurry activity for Cape Breton Island, parts of Prince Edward Island, and into Newfoundland. And then our forecast for Wednesday, going to see a bit of sunshine, then increasing cloudiness across the maritime region, and some flurry activity moving into the morning, clearing into the afternoon, and then returning into the evening for parts of New Brunswick. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Some fresh snow there. The holiday rush is in full swing, with many shoppers hustling to finish up their shopping before Christmas. Experts say many are choosing to spend less this season, with one notable exception. CTV's Colton Prale has more.
It's the season of giving.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas!
But some Canadians find themselves giving
less. And you can do it if you're good at knowing what the prices are.
A new survey from TD Bank found more than a third of Canadians are cutting back on holiday spending, up from last year.
Me and my partner decided actually not to exchange gifts between the two of us this year. It's so expensive.
It's not just presents under the tree that are getting trimmed. According to TD, of those planning to save this holiday season, nearly half are cutting back on social spending.
Especially with groceries, are way more expensive, so it makes like hosting and having parties a lot harder.
But even as holiday budgets decrease, 46% of people are actually spending more money on Canadian products, according to Business Development Canada. At this Ottawa artisan shop, that's leading to a boom in new customers.
When folks can check all the boxes and they're not draining their bank account or taking out loans just to support the Canadian economy, then it's a win-win.
Still, according to TD, over 3/4 of Canadians admit they're vulnerable to overspending on the holidays, feeling the pressure to create memories or spend extra to give meaningful gifts.
It is something we're willing to pay for because we really want to support Canadian producers and makers of products.
According to a report from Business Development Canada, if families spent an additional $100 of their expected holiday shopping on Canadian products like this one, the benefit to the national economy could be as much as $2 billion.
CTV's Colton Prale reporting in Ottawa. Australians gathered Sunday to collectively mark the moment that shots first rang out a week ago. The mass shooting at a Hanukkah gathering on Bondi Beach killed 15 people and injured dozens more. An estimated 10,000 mourners packed the beach for a solemn ceremony, laying flowers and paying respects for victims. Authorities describe the attack as Australia's deadliest mass shooting in nearly 3 decades. It's being investigated as an act of terrorism targeting the Jewish community. U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they had constructive and productive talks on efforts to end Russia's 4-year-old war on Ukraine. Representatives from both countries met in Florida over the weekend with a shared goal of ending the war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says they discussed possible timeframes for specific decisions. Saturday, a Kremlin envoy also said talks with American officials were constructive, but there's no discussion about holding talks that would involve Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. More than 100 students in Gaza are hoping to attend school in Canada next year. Dozens of universities across the country have been accepting Palestinians for their master's and doctorate programs, but the students may not be able to attend. CTV's Camille Karamali has more.
And I'm standing now in front of the remains of my home and my memories.
This pile of rubble is all that remains of Shima Arafa's home in Gaza. But instead of living here, she's supposed to be here at the University of Alberta after getting accepted to its Masters of Science program.
I can't describe my happiness at this moment. It's my glimmer of hope for me to continue my higher education.
But that glimmer darkened when she found out she couldn't get the paperwork done to get her visa, specifically the fingerprints and photo, because there's nowhere in Gaza to get that processed.
I feel so disappointed and anxious because all my future depends on this moment.
Rahman Razek also got accepted to the same school and has run into the same problem.
I want to complete my studies to help my community. We fully intend to return to Gaza after completing our education to rebuild our city again.
Good morning. Advocacy groups held a press conference earlier this month. They say there's roughly 130 students accepted to Canadian schools, all of them trapped in Gaza.
Already, 2 students have been killed and over 20 injured, and several have lost their admissions.
There are also stories like Abdullah Hassan's, who was able to get out of Gaza and completed all of his visa requirements, but still hasn't received a study permit to begin his PhD program in Toronto.
We feel like there is some discriminated against Palestinians.
Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada told CTV News all prospective international students must meet the requirements of Canada's immigration system. But advocates say they need to make some exceptions.
It reflects on a deep-seated cultural bias within our institutions and within the government.
Some European countries have been able to successfully evacuate students from Gaza by making exemptions on the requirements needed to obtain student visas.
CTV's Kamil Karamali reporting in Toronto. A quick break here. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN, Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back after this. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It is now 6:24 and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday, and for it, we head to Motown. Steelers, Lions, final moments of the first half. Aaron Rodgers airs one out, and Kenneth Gainwell comes up with an incredible snag. Gets up and takes it in for the touchdown. Absolutely outstanding concentration, catching the ball while falling over and realizing he wasn't touched to go in for the TD. Gainwell collects the must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we wrap up Week 16 in the NFL. The 49ers face the Colts. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, with kickoff just after 8. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, looking at sunshine, but also a chance of scattered flurries across the province with a high of -10. On Tuesday, a high of -9, mix of sun and cloud throughout the day. Flurries return into the evening. And then on Christmas Eve on Wednesday, looking at a high of -6 degrees, flurries expected throughout your day. For Nova Scotia, a high of -3 degrees today with a mix of sun and cloud and scattered flurries. On Tuesday, a high of -5. Clouds will clear, but we also see isolated flurries for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. And then on Wednesday, Christmas Eve, -5 with isolated flurries transitioning over to snow into the afternoon. For Prince Edward Island, a high of -3 degrees today with flurries across the island. On Tuesday, -9, a mix of sun and cloud with scattered flurries. And then on Wednesday, Christmas Eve, -4 with cloudy skies.
Coming up this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. 3 days till Christmas, so what do you have left to do? We're fessing up in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Let us be the first to say good morning. And if you're on vacation now or off school for the holidays, we hope you have a good, restful time. And if you still have stuff to do, we wish you good luck. I do wonder, with all the power outages that we had around the region, a lot of people I know like to cook in advance or have baking planned. You can't do that if you don't have any power.
Yep. That was like me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any of my holiday shopping for the most part. Couldn't buy groceries because the fridge was down, right? So it's like all these things. Couldn't prep our holiday feast. Yeah, put a halt in things for sure.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't really cold enough to use the outdoors as a refrigerator this weekend. Oh my goodness.
And you mentioned too, even just grocery shopping. I know a number of businesses were also impacted.
Yes.
There were a couple of businesses that I tried to go to over the weekend, get some food, also get like a few little knickknacks. Closed because they didn't have power.
Exactly. Oh, well, it's going to be super busy at the stores then this week right now. Just good. Yay for you.
You'll see me there. Yay.
Okay, weather-wise, what are we dealing with today?
It's not bad today. We're looking at a mix of sun and cloud for the baseline, and then we're seeing some flurry activity across much of Atlantic Canada, a few showers for Newfoundland. But other than that, it's going to be quite a nice day. A bit cold, but we're kind of used to that by this time of year.
Pretty.
Beautiful. And there's a live look at Fredericton. -8 degrees right now, and then factor in that wind chill. So you're still going to want to bundle up before heading out, but we are going to see pretty nice conditions for our weather for today, kicking off the first official week of winter. -4 degrees starting off your day in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, -19 degrees in Labrador City, colder in Happy Valley Goose Bay at -22, -4 in Corner Brook, and 5 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill, feeling a lot colder right across Atlantic Canada. Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out. A risk of frostbite for both Happy Valley Goose Bay and Labrador City early this morning. We do have a snow squall watch in effect for across Prince Edward Island and for parts of Nova Scotia for this morning until Tuesday morning. Keep that in mind as well. Visibility could become an issue. Up to 20 centimeters in snow squalls expected. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. As the sun begins to rise, you will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud for the most part across much of Atlantic Canada. We do have some showers early this morning for parts of Newfoundland and some flurry activity for parts of Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton Island. That will spread across much of the region a little bit later on. And in terms of the wind, it's going to be breezy today out of the north and northwest, 48 kilometers per hour this morning in North Cape, 41 in Canso, 30 kilometers per hour in Lunenburg, Yarmouth, and St. John, New Brunswick, 31 in Grand Etang. Wind gusts of up to 46 kilometers per hour in Edmundston, 43 in Grand Etang, as well as into St. John, New Brunswick, 44 in Greenwood, 46 in Yarmouth. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Hundreds of Maritimers still without power this morning after high winds knocked them off the grid Friday and Saturday. This storm knocked trees down, toppled over signs, and turned traffic lights into four-way stops. At its peak, over 129,000 power customers in the Maritimes were in the dark. Utility crews have been working around the clock to restore power. This morning, more than 900 customers in Nova Scotia are waiting for their power to return. Restoration times range from this afternoon to tonight. And in New Brunswick, more than 500 customers are still off the grid this morning, with restoration times ranging from this afternoon to tomorrow night. The hardest hit regions were the Fredericton and Sussex areas. People in the Greater Moncton area also woke up to very high winds Saturday, making it a pretty hectic day for the city's fire department. NB Power says it will be a multi-day event before all customers have their power restored, and those restoration efforts are continuing this morning. One of New Brunswick's most popular tourist spots was partially flooded on Sunday. Water levels were around a foot high in places at the Pointe du Chien Wharf. Most of the water was in front of a restaurant and ice cream bar, both closed for the season. Neither businesses were damaged. Some locals say they were caught off guard by the high tides, which others called a common occurrence.
We do normally get lunar tides that bring in a higher tide. Normally you'll see storms that bring in water like this. It's fairly calm and nice today, but today it's a little higher than it usually is at this time of year. Normally in January is when you're going to see the higher tides in this area.
I was really surprised. It almost reminded me of one of the past hurricanes that we may have had, just a really high tide.
Hurricane Fiona caused millions of dollars in damage to the wharf back in 2022. The federal and provincial governments spent over $10 million to help restore it and protect it from future storms. At some point next year, Nova Scotians will no longer be eligible to receive up to $15,000 in federal funding to switch from oil to a heat pump. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more.
Heat pump company owner Brody Sampson says he's been told by federal government officials there are major changes to the $15,000 grants through the oil to heat pump affordability program.
It's not going to continue.
People living in Nova Scotia will no longer be eligible to receive federal funding to switch from oil to a heat pump. The oil to heat pump affordability program will remain in place in the other three Atlantic provinces, BC, Ontario, Manitoba, and the Yukon. In this part of the country, more than 9,000 homes previously received heat pump rebates.
Nova Scotia ranks as the second highest province in terms of energy poverty.
In a statement, Natural Resources Canada confirmed with CTV News, due to high demand and successful dissemination of funding in Nova Scotia, program funding will be fully committed in the province in 2026. While the heat pump program from the federal government is winding down, provincial funding will remain in place here in Nova Scotia. Low-income households still get free energy upgrades, including heat pumps. All Nova Scotians are still eligible to apply for up to $5,000 in heat pump rebates, and middle-income households can still receive up to $15,000 through the provincial moderate income rebates program. According to Sampson, the oil to heat pump affordability program will end in Nova Scotia within the next 8 weeks. Customers who haven't yet applied for rebates but plan to in the future will be added to a standby list if additional federal funding becomes available. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Paul. Well, things will only get brighter from here. The darkest day of the year, the winter solstice, is behind us, and now begins the winter season. Sunday was the shortest day of the year north of the equator, where the solstice marks the start of astronomical winter. People have celebrated solstices for eons, including at monuments like Stonehenge, designed to align with the sun's paths at the solstices. Here in Canada, winter officially began just after 10 Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time, so just after 11 local time here, with only 9 hours of daylight. So the good news is daylight hours will slowly be increasing from here on out until June. Yay. Stonehenge, popular spot, especially for the solstices.
Well, this is exactly the story I wanted to see today. I'm glad, especially the woman, like the flower crowns, the lady on the shoulders, the red flower crown. This is what I was hoping to see.
This is what you want to see. Look at that, just lying up.
Yeah, we can't
taking it
ourselves
all in. When I was there, we couldn't touch them.
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't touch them? Maybe they make special exceptions on the solstice.
That's true.
That's why it's so popular. People get to touch them.
It's a big party. Touch the rock.
Yeah.
Cold rock.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, speaking of rock of sorts, this is living rock coral.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another one for you, Australia girl. Researchers are turning to lab-grown coral to restore damaged reefs. Now, these coral babies are born in a lab, then put in underwater nurseries.
Oh.
It's tough for coral to reproduce when colonies are far apart, so hopefully the lab-grown coral will help bridge that distance. Coral can also be transplanted for restoration, but scientists say the method creates more genetically diverse coral. So there we have some image. Gorgeous. You saw the Great Barrier Reef.
It was it was very fortunate.
Gorgeous.
It's going to be a highlight of this year for sure. Yeah, we were in, went off the coast of Bundaberg in Australia.
It's just like, I mean, this is a nursery part where they're just growing things, but I bet it was
beautiful,
just stunning.
It
Someday
is
I'll
stunning.
see it too. Maybe you, Latavia.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amanda can take us out on a boat and show us where it is.
Exactly.
I'll be like, I know all about this.
Exactly.
Gosh. All right, still ahead. We're going to have your entertainment headlines on this Monday morning. Coming up next, so it's the Move Morning Chat. Today we want to know, we're not asking for last names. You can give us your first name. 3 days until Christmas. Are you ready? Share.
Here's a live look at the Armdale Roundabout on this Monday morning. Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:42, minus 4 degrees in your area as of right now. It is quite cold across parts of Atlantic Canada. Just keep that in mind when you are heading out. As of right now, it is -4 in Charlottetown, as well as -1 in Sydney. -8 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, with -5 degrees rather into St. John's, Newfoundland. Snow squall watches in effect across Prince Edward Island and parts of Nova Scotia for this morning until Tuesday, looking at up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls and wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. When the sun begins to rise, there will be lots of sunshine stretching across parts of Atlantic Canada. We do have a few showers early this morning for parts of Newfoundland and looking at a chance of flurries for parts of the region as well. So chance of flurries will persist throughout the day today for parts of Atlantic Canada, and still seeing that sunshine remain into the afternoon. And then this evening and overnight, we are going to see much of the same, a bit of clear skies for parts of the region, increasing cloudiness for others, and looking at a chance of flurries taking us into early Tuesday morning. If you're wondering about accumulation, it's going to remain quite light, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia, around 5 to 10 for Cape Breton Island, and looking at 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation across much of Newfoundland. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Looking at flurries starting off the day, will clear into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs will range from -11 to -6 degrees and wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour. And then for Prince Edward Island, highs between -4 to -1. We are going to see a chance of flurries, also a risk of snow squalls as we enter into the afternoon. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, scattered flurries expected throughout your day today. Daytime highs between -6 to 2 degrees, being the warmest into Canso. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, scattered flurries as well, with highs between -3 to -1, wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour. And then for Labrador City, a high of -19 degrees today, looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day. 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, starting off with a few showers that will clearly be mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon, and looking at a chance of flurries into the evening. For Tuesday's forecast, another cool day ahead. We are going to see sunshine for parts of the region. Also looking at a chance of flurries remaining for parts of Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, and Newfoundland. And then into the evening night, pretty much the same. We are going to see a chance of flurries for parts of the region returning into early Wednesday morning on Christmas Eve. We are going to see that clear out, but then we have another round of flurry activity returning across the region. That's a look at weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. Welcome back to the Move Morning Chat. 3 more days till Santa makes his way over. We want to know what's left on your to-do list. Aaron, Peter, what's left for you?
Wow. I know a lot of people are thinking what isn't left on my to-do list. But to be honest, this year I feel pretty good. I started nice and early, all my gift shopping. The one thing I've left is stockings. I have nothing for stockings. All I've been doing with that is re-gifting chocolates that were given to me, and then I put them in somebody else's stocking. So I got to go out and do like the socks and the shampoos and all that fun stuff you throw in a stocking. That's on my to-do list this week. What about you, Peter?
Well, my wife and I will be picking up a few things for Christmas Eve dinner, a Christmas dinner, the 26th. Basically, we have 3 big meal days. And some of that stuff you can't get too soon. So I know we're having lobster on Christmas Eve. Actually, you know what we're doing? Wait. You know what we're doing Christmas Eve? This is such an Italian thing. It's seafood on Christmas Eve, right? But 7 different seafoods. And if you've ever watched The Bear, the TV show The Bear, that's something that they did recently on an episode, their Christmas episode, 7 different seafoods. So that's what we're doing this Christmas Eve. And that sort of thing all has to be picked up just before Christmas Eve. So that is awesome. Very much still on our list.
Yeah, the 7 fishes. That's a great idea. Last year I did an amazing like seafood chowder. It probably did have 7 different seafoods in it from our engineer, Gay Robertson. Gay Robertson shared his family recipe. Oh my gosh, check it out online. Delicious. And it was a winner. I have so much left to do. Oh my heavenly heavens. It's still the wrapping. I still have so much wrapping to do, and I will not be that person as I have been in the past. It's like 2 in the morning, I'm still wrapping. And then I fall asleep, and then I wake up in the kitchen like, hey, Merry Christmas. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. So that's not going to be this year. I will get it done. What about you?
I have so much left to do. Like Aaron said, stocking stuffers is a big one for me. Wrapping, because my kids keep unwrapping the gifts under the tree right now. Well, more like biting them. Yeah, so for me, I still have a couple more gifts to buy as well. I've been very tardy this year.
Yeah.
I'm on the naughty list.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, let's turn it over to the viewers. We want to know what's still on your to-do list. With just 3 days left till Christmas, or maybe everything's done and you're just sitting back having a hot toddy. If that's you, well, it must be nice. In any case, text us at 10400. Let us know what's still on your to-do list.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:51. We're going to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
The strength of the ancestors is here.
If you go to see Avatar Fire and Ash in IMAX this weekend, you'll get a bonus. A prologue for Christopher Nolan's new movie, The Odyssey, will screen before the sequel. The Odyssey, based on Homer's epic poem, stars Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, and Robert Pattinson. It's set to hit theaters July 17th. Disney is the parent company of ABC News.
I got a bad feeling about this.
But Harrison Ford probably has a good feeling about the fact that he'll be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Trophy next year at the Actors Awards, formerly known as the SAG Awards. The Actor Awards stream on Netflix March 1st. For Barack Obama, 2025 was one battle after another. That Leonardo DiCaprio film made the former president's list of his favorite movies of 2025, along with Jake Kelly and Sinners. His favorite music included songs by Lady Gaga and Bruce Springsteen, while one of his favorite books was, big surprise, his wife Michelle's The Look. And Flashdance star Jennifer Beals is 62 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Tis the season to deck the halls, and one man in St. John is busy working overtime.
His delicate glass ornaments are in high demand, and one popular design may surprise you. CTV's Sarah Plowman has the story.
Ornaments can hold meaning, spark memories or thoughts of loved ones. Behind each one made here is Curtis Dion, a master glass blower.
It's kind of a lost art. There's very few people doing it in Canada.
The holidays bring in a lot of orders. He sometimes crafts more than 100 ornaments a day.
We do the hummingbird, the dragonfly, the bumblebee. We do a mushroom. We do a pickle.
Each demands precision and practice. Like dipping a spoon into a pot of honey, Dion dips a blowpipe into a furnace of molten glass, twirls it, and rolls it in color.
And then we're going to hold it upwards and compress a little bit of air into the pipe so that a bubble starts to emerge.
Like a dance, Dion and his assistant move quickly. Owen Steele has perfected the last touch, the hook.
And while I'm doing it, I'm also sort of in that meditative, almost Zen state.
In high demand this year is the pickle.
I'm giving it as a gift.
That comes with a game of hide and seek.
Whoever hides the pickle has a special gift, and whoever finds the pickle receives the gift.
Heather Rogers is after a snowflake.
I just feel like they're unique and they're handcrafted.
Each ornament is a chance to share a piece of his passion and connect to the community.
I think the ornaments that people put on their trees become part of like a lasting memory, you know, part of their tradition, and it gives us the opportunity to become a bit of a household name.
Adding his touch to a family's tradition. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Sarah. Happening now in local news, hundreds of Maritimers still without power this morning after high winds knocked them off the grid both Friday and Saturday. We'll have the latest numbers and restoration times. Plus, police in New Brunswick have made 2 arrests after threats were made at a school in Rexton last week. RCMP say they arrested 2 youths in connection with their investigation at a local middle school. Plus, this Christmas tree season, it is coming to an end and is being hailed as a successful one by local producers and retailers. We'll have that story coming up in your local news headlines. But first, it's a look at the 3-day forecast as we inch closer to Christmas. Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. Taking a look for New Brunswick today, minus 10 degrees expected. Sunshine, but also scattered flurries across the province. On Tuesday, we're looking at a high of minus 9, a mix of sun and cloud. Flurries return into the evening. And then on Christmas Eve, a high of minus 6 with flurries across the province. For Nova Scotia today, a high of minus 3 degrees. Looking at sunshine, also scattered flurries across the province. On Tuesday, minus 5 degrees. Clouds will clear. Isolated flurries for Cape Breton. And then on Wednesday, looking at a high of minus 5 on Christmas Eve. Isolated flurries for much of the province. Snow moving in for Cape Breton Island. For Prince Edward Island, a high of minus 3 degrees today. Flurries across the island. And then on Tuesday, minus 9, a mix of sun and cloud. Scattered flurries also continuing across the island. On Christmas Eve, a high of minus 4 with cloudy skies. Time now, 6:55.
It's Monday, December 22nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, hundreds still waiting for power to be restored after weekend storm knocked them off the grid. We'll have your top news headlines and the forecast just ahead.
And avoiding festive faux pas. Sure, the holidays are fun, but they can come with some very awkward social situations. Etiquette expert Julie Blake-Camo will share tips to help make sure you stay on the nice list. Those stories and more coming up on the Monday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. December 22nd, inching towards Christmas Eve. Yeah. Hope you got everything you needed done. If not, you're going to be like me, out on the roads today.
Oh my gosh, so busy. And that is the Move Morning Chat. 10400 is the number. Please send us a text and let us know what you still have left to do and how you plan on doing it. And if you like the rush, some people love just to wait until now to get it all done.
It's true. My husband's one of those people.
Really?
Yeah, he actually loves it.
Really? Yeah. No, and he's ready. Happening again this year.
Well, it wonderful is I'm the one on the gift list mostly for that. So, wow. It'll be, do you want pink washer fluid or blue this year?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding that I'm the one on the list and it's always the last minute. But somehow he manages to find a super thoughtful gift every time.
Wow, that's what works out. I feel like this, it is a busy time of year. Even this weekend, we went to Glow Sunday in the Halifax area.
Gardens?
Glow Gardens.
Yay.
And you went there we had a feature there.
We had a feature there. It looked gorgeous, yeah.
And it was packed, but the kids had a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, but walking on that concrete after a while, I'm like, oh, my back.
Ooh, oh, my back.
I might go home for some peace and quiet, but the kids had a great time.
Oh, that's
good. Beautiful lights. Incredible what they can do.
It's really, really pretty. Well, 'tis the season for the beautiful lights. I actually find if it's a bit rainy, the lights even look more pretty and romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But where are we at weather-wise today?
Pretty much flurry activity throughout the day. It's
nice.
a chance of flurries, so looking at a 30 to 60% chance of it happening. Sunshine as well in the forecast, so it's going to be quite a nice day if you do have to head out and run errands today. Here's a live look at Corner Brook early this morning. It is -4 degrees in your area, so it is starting off quite cold for much of the region. And then factor in that wind chill and those breezy wind, it will feel a lot cooler, but not too bad heading out. We're kind of used to this by now. -8 degrees in Fredericton, -4 in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Like I mentioned, factor in that wind chill, going to feel colder this morning. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on, but still going to remain cool today. With Labrador City and Happy Valley Goose Bay having that risk of frostbite as well when you factor in that wind chill. Snow squall watches in effect for Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia for this morning until Tuesday morning. And here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are going to see sunshine for the most part across Atlantic Canada. We do have a few showers for parts of Newfoundland early this morning and looking at a chance of flurries for parts of the region as well. And then that wind will remain a bit breezy today out of the north and northwest. 48 kilometers per hour this morning in North Cape with 41 in Canso, 30 into St. John, New Brunswick and Lunenburg, 26 in Halifax. Wind gusts of up to 43 kilometers per hour into Grand Etang and St. John, New Brunswick, 44 in Greenwood, 41 in Lunenburg. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Hundreds of Maritimers still without power this hour after high winds knocked them off the grid Friday and Saturday. The storm knocked trees down, toppled over signs, and turned some traffic lights into four-way stops. At its peak, over 129,000 customers in the Maritimes were in the dark. Utility crews around the region have been working around the clock to restore power. This morning, more than 900 customers in Nova Scotia are waiting for their power to return. Restoration times range from this afternoon to tonight on the utilities website. And in New Brunswick, more than 500 customers are still off the grid this morning, with restoration times ranging from this afternoon to tomorrow night. The hardest hit areas were the Fredericton and Sussex areas of New Brunswick. People in the greater Moncton area also woke up to very high winds Saturday, making it a pretty hectic day for the city's fire department.
It's been a very busy day for us today. In fact, we've had to call in an extra truck and man it due to the high volume of power lines down. And we would urge anybody that has a generator to make sure you run it outside and in a well-ventilated area. Do not run it indoors at all, and that includes inside of your attached garage.
NB Power says it will be a multi-day event before all customers have their power restored, and those restoration efforts are continuing this morning. Police in New Brunswick have made 2 arrests after threats were made at a school in Rexton last week. The RCMP says it arrested 2 youths in connection with their investigation at Eleanor W. Graham Middle School. The pair have been released from custody and are scheduled to appear in Moncton Provincial Court in March. The Rishabukto RCMP received reports from members of the community on Sunday, December 14th, that threats were being made toward the school through social media. The school was closed last Monday and Tuesday out of an abundance of caution while the investigation was carried out. The RCMP have not revealed what the nature of the threats were. Finally, this Christmas tree season is being hailed as a successful one by local producers and retailers. CTV's Emma Convey stopped in a tree lot in Halifax as they wrapped up their season.
Every Christmas tree these 2 university students bale and sell is money towards their education.
Sitting at SMU last year, and my grandfather used to sell Christmas trees when he was younger, and it just seemed, you know, a lot of tree lots are selling them for quite expensive, and I was like, we might as well see how much they actually cost and see if we can make a few dollars and make them cheaper for everyone else.
Pricing ranged from $50 to $70 depending on tree size. There was demand for all.
Last year we sold about 75, and this year we did about 350.
Instead of wrapping up on the 13th like last year, they held out until the 21st.
Last year there wasn't a lot of hope because we didn't sell that many, and this year I guess we kind of fulfilled our goals, and we sold almost everything we have.
Luckily for Vivek Savalate, there were still a few to choose from. He was buying his first Christmas tree.
We are immigrants and we are not owning a big house. We are living in a small house. We thought and this is new to our culture, right? To put a Christmas tree in the house, so we thought we took a lot of time to understand, okay, we can buy it and put it in our house, right? So my daughter said, okay, Papa, can you get me a Christmas tree? Then we thought, okay.
And just in the nick of time, the president of the Christmas Tree Council of Nova Scotia confirms the jump in sales was something they saw across the province.
Somewhere it's up to 10%, some more. So it's really encouraging to see Nova Scotians buying real and keeping Christmas real.
But that trend did not hold in the international market.
Larger markets would be your big box store markets. There's been a significant decrease in demand for trees early in the season. And it's, really reflects back on the uncertainty of the U.S. market and people watching their pocketbooks. So in upwards to 40% in some box stores and decline in ordering trees.
With 80% of Nova Scotia's trees shipped to the U.S., growers are hoping to expand into other markets for 2026. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
A fresh Nova Scotia pine.
Yeah. Quick, we did get a real tree, and we took the bottom off and put it in the stand. And my husband said, check and see if that tree's drinking. I went. It was the next day. I had put in 6 liters of water in that. Dry as a bone.
Really?
It does work. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta check that tree water.
Check that tree. Also make sure it's not leaking on the floor.
Yes, so
we've had that happen before.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, this is kind of a fun little story, all right? If you're looking for a place to move, authorities are willing to pay you $6,000 US to move to Ottawa, Kansas.
Our community is really ready and primed to be able to grow, and hopefully this program allows it to kind of jumpstart that.
Yeah, so unlike our nation's capital city, Ottawa, Ontario, Ottawa, Kansas is a small town of about 13,000 people. So to get that $6,000 incentive, you need to be an American citizen, you must have a job before moving, and you have to have a household income of at least 55 grand. So probably nobody around here is going to be going there.
No.
But I thought that was crazy that it was also called Ottawa, and they need to pay people to move there.
You'd have to pay me a lot more than that.
Me too.
Well, we're happy that you are here and you're sticking around with us, because still ahead, we'll have a look at your national news headlines, and Latavia will have the latest look at the forecast, because a lot of people are wondering, are we going to have a white Christmas? A lot of us lost the snow that we had because of the rain and warm conditions. So we're going to take a break now. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Good morning to our viewers in Uptown St. John. Very quiet on King Street this morning. The sun will be up before you know it, and the forecast is next.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:11. We're taking a live look at Baccarat Point. -3 degrees as you head outdoors this morning. We'll be seeing some sunshine, but also scattered flurries expected in your area. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing a cooler start to the day, start to the work week. As of right now, -8 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, -4 in Charlottetown and in Halifax, with 0 in Sydney, 4 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Snow squall watches in effect for Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia for this morning. Until Tuesday morning, we could see up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls, wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers per hour. Over to our forecast timeline. As the sun begins to rise, we will be seeing sunshine extend for much of Atlantic Canada. Have some active weather as well across the region. Looking at a chance of showers for parts of Newfoundland, a chance of flurries as well. Also a chance of flurries for parts of all 3 maritime provinces starting off the day. Into the afternoon, much of the same. We will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud for the most part for New Brunswick, and that flurry activity taking us into the evening and overnight hours as well. So parts of the region still dealing with flurries into early Tuesday morning. Excuse me. If you're wondering about snowfall accumulation, we're seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall across Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia, 5 to 10 centimeters for Cape Breton Island, and also going to see around 1 to 5 centimeters of snow accumulation for parts of Newfoundland. Here's a look at our forecast for New Brunswick, starting off the day with a chance of flurries. That will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from -11 to -6 degrees and wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour expected. Highs between -4 to -1 for Prince Edward Island. Flurries transition over to a risk of snow squalls into the afternoon. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also seeing some scattered flurries throughout your day today. Highs between -6 to 2 degrees and wind gusts of 50. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at highs between -4 to -2 degrees. Scattered flurries also expected with sunshine as well. Wind gusts of 50. For Labrador City, a high of -19 degrees. And looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day. 6 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, starting off the day with a chance of showers. And then transitions over to mainly cloudy skies before flurries arrive into the evening. Tuesday's forecast, another cooler day ahead. We are going to see pretty clear skies with clouds clearing out for the Maritime region. Still dealing with some flurry activity for parts of Atlantic Canada. And then into Wednesday morning, we are going to see another round of flurries move in on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, we're going to see flurries throughout the day as well for much of the region. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Australians gathered Sunday to collectively mark the moment that first shot rang out a week ago. The mass shooting at a Hanukkah gathering on Bondi Beach killed 15 people and injured dozens more. With golden soil, an estimated 10,000 mourners gathered for a solemn ceremony, raising their voices in song and paying respects for victims. Authorities describe the attack as Australia's deadliest mass shooting in nearly 3 decades. It is being investigated as an act of terrorism targeting the Jewish community. Back here in the Maritimes, PEI has the lowest overall inflation rate of any province, but you wouldn't know it from a grocery bill. Food costs are still on the rise, and some say they've had to change what they put in their carts. CTV's Maria Saru looks at why inflation is taking a bigger bite on the island.
The biggest change isn't where many island shoppers buy their food, it's what they are or aren't bringing home.
I got non-bread, bread, bagels, 2 packs of hamburger. Me and my kid, we don't get everything we need. Lowering the amount of meat and everything, you know, trying to feed 3 people on a low income is really hard.
Some are swapping brands.
I bought Philadelphia cream cheese because it was on sale, and some milk, which I need.
Others cutting down on some categories.
Yeah, not a lot of fresh veggies and fruits. We got discounted salad. Eggs were the regular price, I think.
But the total at the till is still trending up. New November numbers from the Consumer Price Index show overall inflation on PEI is at 1.4% year over year. That's the lowest rate in the country, compared with 2.2% nationally. But food prices are rising around 4.2%, roughly the same pace as the national average. Economic experts point to a mixed bag of global forces pushing grocery costs up, from climate issues to supply chain woes to Trump's tariffs.
Beef prices, for example, are one of the big driving forces. A lot of that had to do in North America with drought conditions out west over the last couple of years and declining size of herds.
In the meantime, lower energy prices are helping cool down inflation on PEI. But back at the grocery store, families are still making compromises. Shoppers here say they're still hunting for discounts to make their budgets work as food costs keep climbing. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Maria. A quick break here on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're talking holiday etiquette with etiquette expert Julie Blake-Como. That's coming up next.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back at 7:20. No, the holidays are here, and with them come family meals, reunions, joy, but also sometimes discomfort, tension, and conflict. Today, we're looking at practical tips for surviving and even enjoying awkward family gatherings. Here to help us keep the happy and happy holidays is etiquette expert Julie Blake-Como, who's literally written a book on etiquette. So good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Crystal.
So let's start off with the nosy Nelly. You know, that person who always asks the questions like, why are you still single? How much money do you make? You know, stuff like that. How do you handle somebody like that?
You know, there are different ways of handling all of this, and everything I'm going to say this morning can be found on my website. So, number one, you can use humor. So, somebody asks, how come you're still single? Well, my GPS hasn't found Prince or Princess Charming yet. How much money do you make? Well, you can ask a question back and solicit their advice. Well, I'm doing pretty good, but I'm always open to your suggestions. And lastly, you know, Crystal, it's perfectly acceptable to always reset the boundaries and to say something like, you know, I'm a pretty private person, so for now, I'd like to keep that to myself.
I love that. That just the joking is great, but there is often that awkward person who's been in that situation where they're like a dog with a bone and they won't leave it alone. So yes. Cutting it off, like, you know what, I'm private. That's just private, and hopefully they'll get the hint. Yeah, I love it. Okay,
yes.
This is another situation that you wanted to talk about, and I think that this is a tough one. So you've got two guests. They don't get along, but maybe they decided they're going to come to the gathering. Maybe two cousins who've been fighting, or two family members that haven't been speaking, but they said, okay, I'm going to come over to Julie's house finally and have dinner. How do you handle that so the tensions don't ruin the family dinner or the event that you've got?
Yeah, first of all, be glad that they decided, both of them, to come. Now, you know those people, so be strategic. Assign seating and involve the kids. The kids can make like something crafty, put the names on them. That's where she's sitting, that's where he's sitting, or they're sitting, whatever it is. So that's number one. Number two, what you can do is that you can prepare topics of conversation. Again, you can involve your children, you can do it yourself. And there are already some decks of cards, if you don't have time, that you can just like Amazon in, and those cards, those topics are going to be in the middle of the table. And then you're going to turn to Johnny, do you want to pick a topic of conversation? And it's something like, what's your favorite book of the year? What's your favorite movie? What can we celebrate with you? What would you like to accomplish in 2026? And then you go around the table. Perfectly acceptable to change the topic of conversation when you hear that the volume is getting higher, and then focus on what we can all talk about together.
Yep, I love that. Okay, this is one. A lot of people have this issue. I often wonder myself, what about devices at the table? Is it okay to say no cell phones at the table?
Yes, when you are the host, the hostess, you are setting expectations. And this also applies to weddings or whatever gathering that you are hosting. The more they know in advance, the more they will be prepared. So you can put it on the invitation. You can remind them with a sign at the door. Some people even put boxes or baskets, Crystal, at the door where they say, let's make memories eye to eye. Now, having said that, we may want to all gather, do that selfie that we're going to post on social media. Before we do that, we're going to say please before cheese, meaning that we're going to ask our guests, is everybody okay that we put this on Facebook, on Instagram? Those who don't want to be in that photo, they can go somewhere else. We're going to take the picture. And lastly, use your phone to record grandma, grandpa, and ask them about their advice. Ask them about their memories when they were children at Christmas, because this time next year, well, maybe for some of us, we're aware of certain situations, and this may be the time to record them.
That is a great point, that the devices can actually be a useful way to record family memories, for sure. Oh, beautiful. All right, well, Julie, thank you so much for your advice. And we put your website on ours so people can find out more information there. And happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays, and see you in 2026, Crystal.
Definitely. See you next year. And right now, we're going to turn our attention over to Latavia for a 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Crystal. For today, New Brunswick will be dealing with a high of -10, a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of flurries throughout the day. On Tuesday, a high of -9, sunshine returns with evening flurries. And then on Christmas Eve, looking at a high of -6 with flurries across the province. Nova Scotia, a high of -3 degrees today, a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of flurries throughout the day. And then on Tuesday, a high of -5. Clouds clear and isolated flurries return for Cape Breton Island. And then on Christmas Eve, a high of -5 yet again, isolated flurries and snow for Cape Breton. For Prince Edward Island, a high of -3 degrees today with flurries across the island and the province. Tuesday, a high of -9, a mix of sun and cloud with scattered flurries. And then on Wednesday, on Christmas Eve, a high of -4 and cloudy skies. Time now, 7:25.
Still ahead, 12 days of fire safety. Before things get too lit this season, we've got experts standing by with smart safety advice. That's coming up in 15 minutes here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Halfway through the show on this Monday, December 22nd. 2 days till Christmas. We're working really 2 and then it is in fact Christmas Eve, so I guess 3.
Yeah.
If you want to get technical, but we're working today and tomorrow, and then Christmas Eve will be off. Christmas Day will be off. Basically, we'll be off for the holidays till we come back on the Monday, the 29th.
Yeah, that's true too. Be for a few days. So yeah, keep that in mind. So we'll be enjoying some time with our family, and we certainly hope that you'll be enjoying your time with the holidays. And love that conversation with Julie Blake-Como, etiquette expert extraordinaire, about how to maybe handle some awkward holiday situations.
Definitely,
It's funny because it's the time of the year where you're so excited to gather with your family, but at the same time, sometimes you're prepared for drama with family gatherings. So yeah, it was really good advice.
Well, I saw a social media post over the weekend, which was like one of those jokey kind of videos, but it kind of said it all. It said the first 30 minutes with your cousins, and everyone's awkward. They're like, hi, hi. The last 30 minutes with your cousins, and they're, you know, like singing Christmas carols and swagging and acting crazy. So, like, I mean, you just have to let things warm up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about things warming up a little bit?
No. We are cooling back down this week. Last week we had like 3 days of really nice warm weather. It's going to be cool. 'Tis the season, but you know what? We're still seeing pretty mild weather in terms of sun and cloud for much of the region, and then just a chance of flurries here and there, which is nice for the season as well. Exactly.
And also those power restoration efforts. So they look pretty good in Macadam, New Brunswick. The train station looking gorgeous.
Yeah, love that place.
Love the festive season. Currently -8 degrees in your area over in Macadam. A cloudier start to the day. We'll be seeing a chance of flurries early in the morning, then clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud for the remainder of the day, so not too bad. Currently -8 degrees as well in Fredericton, -5 in Charlottetown, -4 as you start the day off in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, and 4 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill, still feeling a lot colder across the Maritime region. That extends over to Newfoundland and Labrador as well. There is a risk of frostbite. Keep that in mind if you are heading out in Labrador City and in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Snow squall watches in effect for parts of Nova Scotia and across Prince Edward Island for this morning and until Tuesday morning. So we could see up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls. Something to keep in mind. Visibility could be an issue in those areas. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada. We do have showers for parts of Newfoundland, and then flurries. A chance of flurries for much of Atlantic Canada as well, around a 30 to 60% chance of it happening today. And a bit breezy for the Maritime region. As of right now, wind out of the north and northwest, 46 kilometers per hour into North Cape and Canso, 30 into Lunenburg, and 22 in Halifax. Wind gusts of up to 56 kilometers per hour in Canso, 44 into Bathurst, 43 in Yarmouth. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Hundreds of Maritimers still without power this morning after high winds knocked them off the grid Friday and Saturday. The storm knocked down trees, toppled over signs, and turned traffic lights into four-way stops. At its peak, over 129,000 power customers in the Maritimes were in the dark. Utility crews have been working around the clock to restore power. This morning, more than 900 customers in Nova Scotia are waiting for their power to return. Restoration times range from this afternoon to tonight. And in New Brunswick, more than 500 customers are still off the grid this morning, with restoration times ranging from this afternoon to tomorrow night. The hardest hit regions were the Fredericton and Sussex areas. People in the greater Moncton area also woke up to very high winds Saturday, making it a pretty busy day for the city's fire department. NB Power says it will be a multi-day event before all customers have their power restored, and those restoration efforts are continuing this morning. At some point next year, Nova Scotians will no longer be eligible to receive up to $15,000 in federal funding to switch from oil to a heat pump. Natural Resources Canada says while the oil to heat pump affordability program is scheduled to end in 2027 in other parts of Canada, it will wrap up next year in Nova Scotia. The department told CTV that due to high demand for the program, funding in Nova Scotia for the program will be used up in 2026. According to Natural Resources Canada, more than 9,000 homes received heat pump rebates in Nova Scotia in the last 3 years. On the ice, another milestone for Cole Harbour's Sidney Crosby. Crosby broke Mario Lemieux's franchise scoring record with a goal and an assist in the first period of the Pittsburgh Penguins game against the Montreal Canadiens last night.
I mean, it's kind of mixed emotions, I guess, because, that's, that number I've been kind of hanging around. The hockey gods made me earn it, I feel like, the last few games. But just to get the win, to get a win in a shootout, it all kind of lined up well tonight.
Crosby, who began the night 1 point behind Lemieux, now has 645 goals and 1,079 assists for 1,724 points in 1,387 games. It also moved him past Lemieux for the 8th most points in NHL history. Finally, a Moncton musician who had a benefit concert held in his honor is now helping another drummer who is in need of a little help himself right now. CTV's Derek Haggett has the story.
There was never any doubt who was going to fill in when the Motor League needed a new drummer. Johnny Flanagan is taking the spot of Tom T-Bone Antle temporarily while Antle receives treatments for lung cancer.
Well, Tom's one of my best friends, and when I went through my diagnosis, he was there from day one.
For the second time in less than 2 years, Moncton's music community is rallying to help a drummer battle cancer. Flanagan was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer about 2 years ago, and Antle made sure the Motor League played at his benefit show in 2024.
I mean, when Johnny got sick, Tom was the first one. We're doing a benefit. We're playing a show. We're gonna help John.
Now, Flanagan is part of another fundraiser, this time for T-Bone.
He's been better for sure. Yeah, he's definitely going through it. He's taking the first steps of a very long journey to recovery. So we love him to death. We really wish he was with us.
Proceeds from Saturday's show, along with a GoFundMe campaign, will help financially while receiving treatments. The significance and timing of having Flanagan fill in for their drummer is not lost on the band.
We've known Johnny as long as we've known Tom. And, we've been just as close with Johnny. So that, that one was a punch in the stomach for sure. And then for it to happen again, with our own drummer, T-Bone, it was a lot.
It's surreal, all the support from Smile for Johnny, and now this show for Tom. It's unbelievable to see all the community to pull together like this.
Flanagan says he's been feeling pretty good lately and is enjoying a break from treatments over the holidays. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Thank you so much, Derek, for that story. We certainly wish him the best in his health journey as well.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right, this is a story related to the weather. When a little snow falls at the zoo, it can be pandemonium. Check it out. The pandas at the Washington National Zoo recently welcomed a blast of winter weather. Bao Li and King Bao had some fun in the freshly fallen snow. This video shared by the zoo, but yeah, it's fun to watch them like having a hoot there. They love it. This is basically the video, just having a very good time. So why don't we just stay with it for a moment and just see how much they enjoy the snow.
I love when they tumble.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
How are they real? Oh, stop just in time for the treat.
Look at him. Oh.
Very clever.
Here we go. Here we go.
Look at that run.
Just ripping around. Look at him go. I love the different angles.
I know.
That little head bob.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
There
Look
we
at this.
go.
Woo. Sometimes I'm like, you're just slipping on purpose.
You've heard the term roly-poly. This is absolutely, there he goes. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I know.
It's like the first time that you have that pet who enjoys the snow, goes outside,
Right?
they're rolling around.
Zoomies. Yeah.
The zoomies, so excited.
Panda's got the zoomies. It's amazing.
Apparently.
All right, still ahead, we're going to have your latest look at the forecast with Latavia. Many of us are wondering, is it going to be a white Christmas? I don't know. We're hoping. We'll take a break and live look at Kitty Vitty Lake over in Newfoundland and Labrador. Calm waters there this morning and some gray skies. The forecast is up next.
Welcome back and happy Monday. The time now is 7:42. We're taking a live look at Bedeque. Currently -1 in your area, cloudy start to the day, and we are expecting flurries to remain throughout the day as well. It is a cool start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. We're pretty used to it by now, but -8 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, -5 over in Charlottetown and in Halifax, with -1 in Sydney, and 4 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Snow squall watches remain in effect across Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia for this morning until Tuesday morning. We could see up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls, so keep in mind visibility could become an issue. Over to our forecast timeline. We are going to see a mix of sun and cloud for much of Atlantic Canada. We do have active weather in our forecast, though, for today as well. Looking at a chance of showers early this morning for parts of Newfoundland, a bit of flurry activity as well. And then across much of the Maritime region, we do have a chance of some flurries, around a 30 to 60% chance of it happening. Into the afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud expected for New Brunswick, still seeing sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada. Also going to see flurry activity remain as we head towards overnight tonight into early Tuesday morning. If you're wondering about snowfall accumulation, it's going to remain quite light, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters across Prince Edward Island, eastern Nova Scotia, and looking at around 5 to 10 centimeters within Cape Breton Island, and 1 to 5 centimeters across much of Newfoundland. Here's a look at your forecast today for New Brunswick. Looking at flurries clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from -11 to -6 degrees, and wind out of the northwest, 20 gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. Highs between -4 to -1 for Prince Edward Island. Looking at flurries throughout the day and that risk of snow squalls into the afternoon. Wind gusts of 50. And then for Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Looking at scattered flurries throughout your day. Daytime highs between -6 to 1 degree and wind gusts of 50. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at scattered flurries as well. We'll see sunshine as well throughout your day. Daytime highs between -4 to -2. And for Labrador City, a high of -19 degrees today. Looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day. 6 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, starting off the day with showers clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and then flurries arrive into the evening. Tuesday's forecast, another sunny and cold day ahead. We are going to see a chance of flurries remain for parts of Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, and parts of Newfoundland as well. And then into Wednesday morning on Christmas Eve, it's going to be a bit of a cloudier day ahead for parts of the region. Still seeing sunshine for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. And then flurries will move back in, clear out for Thursday on Christmas Day, and then flurries expected to return, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's now 7:45. For many, we're into the most wonderful time of the year, filled with beautiful light displays, cooking, for large gatherings, cozy fires. But as we celebrate, it's important to remember to keep safety top of mind. To help with that, Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency has released 12 tips for the 12 days of fire safety. Here to tell us more is Fire Prevention Officer Chris Camp and Halifax Fire Public Education Specialist Brianna McClellan. Thank you both for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
I'm really excited to shine a spotlight on this. I'll start with you, Chris, that you're saying that you're getting a lot of calls this time of year.
We tend to see an increase in calls as it gets colder. People, of course, starting wood-burning appliances, increased draw on electrical systems for heating systems, things like that. And generally, it just picks up, quite honestly. Yeah.
Well, we want to make sure people stay safe. So, Brianna, why don't you start us off? Let's start with the first day of fire safety.
Yeah, so right now we just started day 11. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but our day 1 was talking about holiday lights.
Okay, what about them?
So we want people to check them before they put them up. Make sure that they're rated, which means they're safety tested, so they can withstand the elements, like snow, rain, wind, that kind of thing, for outdoor ones anyway. Yeah. Checking for frays, loose connections, anything like that before you put them up, and making sure you're putting them up with the clips, not staples, not nails, something that could, could damage them. Yeah.
Quick question, can you use outdoor lights inside?
Yeah, you could. A lot of them can be outdoor, indoor. You just read the box before you buy them.
But not indoor, outside.
Yeah, not indoor, outside. Yeah, because they're not made. And so, like I said, you're going to look for a special little label here, like CSA, for example, just saying that they're safety tested.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, love that. Okay, I want to mention one. The real tree needs proper watering. I know this from experience. We put a real tree up. We filled the thing with water. There's a lot of water in there too, and the next day it was dry as a bone. So you really have to stay on that tree to keep it from drying out.
Yeah. So I would always ask a person in the family to be the designated, I guess, waterer for the Christmas tree. So making sure it has enough water every day, keeping it away from heat sources that will contribute to drying it out. So keep it away from the fireplace, the heaters, those types of things. And when you see those dropping needles, that's a good indication that it needs some more water.
Perfect. Yeah. Chris, what do you want to add to this?
In the electrolyte situation, if you're having a light that's acting up and you can't seem to find the cause of it, pull it off the tree.
That'd be a recommendation. There might be some kind of a short that you don't realize. You know, they do tend to fray and sometimes get worn out. So
That's a great point, yeah, because, yeah, exactly. Should you leave the tree on with nobody in the room?
no.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one. All right, what else?
So when it comes to kind of the heat sources, again, when it comes to space heaters, they're great. Many people will use them in their homes, but you should also unplug those when you leave the room, go to bed. A lot of people like to keep them plugged in when they're sleeping, but when you're sleeping, they're unattended. You might not be aware of something that might be happening. So always giving those space, as well as candles. We want to make sure that those have space as well. If you do choose to use a real candle, make sure it's a sturdy one that's not going to tip over. Keep kids and pets away from it, but even better, use a battery-operated one.
Yeah.
You know, there's way less risk. They're still cozy. You can buy ones now that flicker, so they really imitate a real one. Great option. I have one here that you can look at. If that was to tip over on like a dinner table, for example, you could just pick it up. There would be no issue there.
Yeah, I actually found some that look really realistic, and they have a remote control.
Yeah.
So you could just put them on or even put the little timer on there.
Yeah.
They were really cheap, too.
Could I add something to the space heaters?
Please do.
Please plug them directly into the wall. Don't use an extension cord or a power bar because it'll overload it and it could short it out and cause a fire.
That is a great tip. I know that that's one. I make sure in our household that that's the case too. We have a minute left. Let's focus on some of the other tips you want to get out there.
Yeah, so smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarm if your home needs it. You need to have one to protect you, but it needs to be working. So that means it needs to have batteries. It can't be expired, and it needs to be in the proper place. Sitting on the table or having it, you know, on a shelf is not going to do its job. So making sure that it's working so you have that time to escape if there was an emergency is really important.
That's so important. Check those batteries, make sure they're working. That's a great point.
And Brianna's point, if it's over 10 years old, it should be replaced because they have a shelf life. After that point in time, they're not as effective. So we want to make sure they're under 10 years old.
How can you tell how old your smoke alarm is?
Show you.
There should be a stamp on it, and I think Brianna's going to show you right there.
Yeah, so on the back, and you're not going to be able to see it clearly, but there's going to be a date. That's the date that it's manufactured.
Yep.
So usually after it's installed 10 years from there. On the side here, there's even a sticker that says replaced by 2026.
Amazing.
So it's usually pretty easy. A lot of people don't know to look there. Maybe they're not aware, but it is there. So check your smoke alarms. Every month you should be checking it by pressing the test button as well. Checking for those batteries, checking that the speaker works and that sort of thing.
Okay, wonderful. I'm a little disappointed we didn't sing this because it's the 12 days of fire safety, but other than
I'm not disappointed.
Thank you both so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Happy and safe holidays to you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
we put information on our website to make it easy for you to get more tips yourself to read. You know, take your time and really read these. In the meantime, we'll pass things over to Amanda with health and medical news.
Thank you so much, you three. Health Canada is tightening the rules on chemicals and equipment used to make drugs such as fentanyl and meth, hoping to curb the illicit industry. It is one of the topics in Your Health. The changes will require companies to report suspicious purchases and take steps to prevent diversion. Ottawa is also restricting access to pill presses and requiring registration for some imported parts. Officials say illegally produced fentanyl is behind most overdose deaths in Canada. Health authorities worldwide have approved a drug treatment for stroke that was pioneered at the University of Calgary. Researchers conducted a clinical trial with 1,600 patients on tenecteplase, a drug that's already used for heart attacks. They found it's an effective clot-busting drug for strokes, too. Administered with an IV, it saves time in situations where every minute counts.
That is a game changer. That means that anybody with an acute stroke can actually get a life-saving treatment in just 5 seconds if they're eligible for that treatment.
Researchers say the drug is helpful for stroke patients seeking care at rural hospitals. They can get the medication before they're taken by ambulance to a larger hospital. Finally, for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, these AI glasses may be helpful. This wearable device connects the user with a real-time speech-to-text app. It captures live audio from a room or within a conversation and transcribes it into text. The AI glasses are especially popular with users who find their hearing aids aren't always helpful. The smart glasses are called X-ray glasses, and the latest version is capable of real-time translation in 300 languages. They retail for about $1,300 Canadian.
Today, but if you'd like to see previously aired milestones or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
And Atlantic Canada's first Racewood Dressage Pro Horse Simulator is on track. It gives people a chance to saddle up and experience cutting-edge technology.
CTV's Mike Lamb takes us to Willow and Withers horse riding stable.
Okay, you ready? Hi, I'm Melanie Talliard, owner of Willow and Withers. We're a boarding barn down in the valley. We're in Sheffield Mills today, and I'm standing here with Willow, who is a Racewood Dressage Pro horse simulator, who has just arrived from the UK about 10 days ago, and we've been having a lot of fun with her. A couple of years ago, I was looking for a way to train for my own horse work, and I wanted to train in a way that I wasn't putting my mistakes on my horse. So I just started looking, what sort of devices are there, almost like a treadmill, but for a horse, so I could train. And I discovered these simulators and quickly found out there wasn't really anything in Nova Scotia. I found one in Toronto and did some really impactful training for a couple days. And I fell in love with the tool and thought, we need this. Not only can she help us to learn all kinds of skills, she has a really neat module where she'll do an assessment of your riding, looking at all the biomechanics, how balanced you are in your seat. She just reflects back everything the rider is doing and helps us then improve to be a better rider for our horses.
So it definitely feels like a real horse. She's quite smooth, so you don't have to be scared of falling off, and she definitely doesn't buck her rear or do anything real crazy. It's really neat if you are maybe a higher level rider and you're wanting to refine your leg yields or your half pass. She can do all of the things, really. She's much better trained than my horse is.
So right now you can book in for an initial assessment. It's all online, really easy to book online. It's incredibly authentic. You know, you have a good ride and you find yourself patting her neck and saying thank you to her. So they feel that it's a real horse while you're on there. She's been getting some miles on her for sure.
Good girl.
Taking another look at the 3-day forecast, starting off in New Brunswick, a high of -10 degrees today. We will be seeing a chance of flurries clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. -9 degrees on Tuesday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud returning, evening flurries. And then on Christmas Eve, a high of -6 with flurries across the province. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of -3 degrees today, we'll be seeing sunshine, but also scattered flurries across the province. On Tuesday, a high of -5. Clouds will clear, leaving sunshine, and isolated flurries return for Cape Breton Island. On Christmas Eve, looking at a high of -5. Flurries start off the day, transition over to snow for Cape Breton Island in eastern Nova Scotia. Prince Edward Island, a high of -3 today. Flurries across the island. Then on Tuesday, -9, a mix of sun and cloud with scattered flurries. Cloudy skies on Christmas Eve with a high of -4.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Monday, December 22nd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, hundreds still waiting for power to be restored after a weekend storm knocked them off the grid. Your top news headlines and the forecast just ahead.
And Janice is back. Katie Kelly's mom. They're both in the kitchen and they're making a festive recipe as only Janice can. That's coming ahead in this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good Good morning. Thank you so much for starting off your Monday with us. We appreciate it. Your time is precious, and we're glad that you could spend a bit of your time here. Janice is also precious. Katie's Callie's mom. Is it really the holiday season if we don't have Janice on for a cooking segment? Love her. Salt of the earth person. So she's on live this morning. Looking forward to that segment coming up. That is if you have power to be able to cook. Many people didn't get to do that this weekend because they lost out on power. Restoration efforts are still underway. I'll have more details coming up in the news, but when it comes to those utility crews that are out, Latavia, trying to get people back on the grid, at least the weather's on their side today.
Absolutely. It's not windy, really. It's just a bit of a breeze for parts of the region. Sunshine for much of Atlantic Canada, and we are seeing only a chance of flurries, really. So not a bad day to try to get up there and help some people out who don't have power.
I know. The wind is a big factor in being able to restore. So if it is down and they're able to get up there, then that's great. People get on the grid soon. Because I've been without power for a long time before, and it's not fun.
No, it wasn't fun. No.
And you were for several months.
I was definitely, I think it went out 5 o'clock on Friday and didn't come back till late Saturday night. So can definitely relate there for sure. All right, well, if you are going to head out today, it's cold yet again across the region. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. -8 degrees in your area as of right now. Not really seeing any active weather in your area. We do have a chance of flurries across parts of the region and across New Brunswick as well before clearing, leaving sunshine in your area. -5 degrees heading outdoors in Charlottetown and in Halifax. -1 in Sydney. 4 degrees starting off your day in St. John's and Newfoundland. Factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot colder for the Maritime region. Same thing goes for Newfoundland and Labrador. There is a risk of frostbite. Keep that in mind if you are heading out in Labrador City and Happy Valley Goose Bay. Snow squall watches in effect across Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia for this morning until Tuesday. Could see up to 20 centimeters of snow within those snow squalls, so keep that in mind as well. Visibility could become an issue. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Sunshine stretching across much of Atlantic Canada. We do have a few showers early this morning for parts of Newfoundland, and then for parts of the Maritime region, we'll be seeing a chance of flurries before clearing, leaving sunshine. And a little breezy for parts of the Maritime region as of right now out of the north and northwest this morning. 46 kilometers per hour for North Cape and Canso, 30 into Halifax and Lunenburg, 28 into Yarmouth. Wind gusts of up to 56 kilometers per hour in Canso, 52 in Edmonton, 44 in Greenwood and in Bathurst. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And we begin with breaking news. Firefighters in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia, are battling a blaze in Fisherman's Cove this hour. Halifax Fire tells CTV News they've been battling that fire at 99 Government Wharf since 3 a.m. The fire has not spread to other buildings. It is still burning this hour, but firefighters anticipate the building will be a total loss. At this hour, there are no reported injuries. We will continue to follow this developing story. Also this morning, hundreds of Maritimers still without power after high winds knocked them off the grid Friday and Saturday. The storm toppled trees, knocked over signs, and turned traffic lights into four-way stops. At its peak, over 129,000 power customers in the Maritimes were in the dark. Utility crews have been working around the clock to restore power. This morning, more than 900 customers in Nova Scotia still waiting for their power to return. Restoration times on the utilities website range from this afternoon to tonight. And in New Brunswick, more than 500 customers still off the grid, with restoration times ranging from this afternoon to tomorrow night. The hardest hit regions were the Fredericton and Sussex areas. People in the greater Moncton area also woke up to very high winds Saturday, making it a very hectic day for the city's fire department.
It's been a very busy day for us today. In fact, we've had to call in an extra truck and man it due to the high volume of power lines now. And we would urge anybody that has a generator to make sure you run it outside and in a well-ventilated area. Do not run it indoors at all, and that includes inside of your attached garage.
NB Power says it will be a multi-day event before all customers have their power restored, and those restoration efforts are continuing this morning. Police in New Brunswick have made 2 arrests after threats were made at a school in Rexton last week. The RCMP says it arrested 2 youths in connection with their investigation at Eleanor W. Graham Middle School. The pair have been released from custody and are scheduled to appear in Moncton Provincial Court in March. The Rishabukto RCMP received reports on Sunday, December 14th, that threats were being made toward the school through social media. The school was closed last Monday and Tuesday out of an abundance of caution while the investigation was carried out. The RCMP have not revealed what the nature of the threats were. Finally, in Halifax, HMCS St. John's returned home over the weekend after 5 months away at sea. CTV's Emma Convey was there to capture the emotional homecoming with loved ones on the jetty.
They've waited months for this moment. There's only one sailor the Hardin family is looking for. As Eva grips her sign, it's big smiles when she sees her dad returning home.
I'm very excited to play games and do stuff with him.
They've been counting down the days. It's been 250 without Eric, their husband and dad.
The kids, it's hard for them because of school and their dad gone, and we've had sick family members, so it's really hard on everybody. So I guess I'm really proud in all of us for surviving it.
His Majesty's Canadian ship St. John's departed from Halifax in July. It joined the Standing Maritime Group 2 in the Mediterranean Sea.
Spent about 120 days underway with them, patrolling the Mediterranean, the Eastern Mediterranean, working with our allies and partners, as well as providing deterrence and assurance measures with our NATO partners and allies. We were then re-rolled up to the High North, where we joined Standing NATO Maritime Group 1.
They traveled up the coast of Norway, working with the Norwegian Navy for what has been part of the Canadian Armed Forces' largest overseas mission. And after a quick stop in St. John's, the crew of 241 arrived home Saturday afternoon, a last deployment for Commander Jeffrey Anderson.
We'll never sail together again as that exact group. There's something a little bit sad about that, but knowing that we're going to have all these great experiences, memories, and lessons to take forward and to apply that to the next group, and we know we're setting the next ship's company up for this ship for success. It's a good day.
Families couldn't hide their joy during this reunion.
We're very excited. He's actually coming home to Kingston, and it's emotional. It's been a long time. I'm happy for him.
It's been such a long time. I missed him. Communications aren't that good when he's all away in the ocean.
It's a moment these sailors have dreamt of for months.
The moment that I was able to cross the bow, all the emotions hit. I got all teary inside, trying to hold it in, be strong for the family, but I feel so happy being able to touch them and actually hug them instead of FaceTime.
They're home just in time for Christmas.
I'm hoping to play with him and go out to fun places with him.
We're really excited. Yeah, he needs to come home.
I love you, Daddy.
After months apart, a safe return is all these families wanted for Christmas. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Oh, so sweet. Happy reunions.
Oh my gosh, the kids jumping around with excitement. You cannot, that's just precious. Cannot pay, that's just, wow, priceless. Good stuff.
I know, now they're all huddled together at home. Hope they're having a great time, great reunions.
Oh yeah. This is not as warm and fuzzy. It involves, well, I don't think you'd want to have this taxi driver pull up when you ordered a taxi. This is in Peru. He's fuzzy. It's just not warm and fuzzy, but he has an awesome taxi. This is actually a guy named Jefferson Castro, who in real life is so much Christmas spirit. He decorates his taxi to look like this, including plastic reindeer, lights, the whole business. He says that he's trying to spread holiday spirit around Lima, Peru. Much better than going through the city to steal all the presents and decorations before pushing it over the side of a mountain, that's for sure.
So cute. I know, missed the opportunity to have Max there at the front.
Look at you can actually go up in the sleigh. I don't think when it's actually moving. That's awesome.
You have nowhere specific to be at a specific time. Take a ride with the Grinch. Why not? So cute.
Wow. Take me to Whoville.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay. I hope he plays a trumpet instead of a horn. Yeah. Okay, we're going to have another break, but please stay with us. We have so much more coming up, including going to the Your Morning Atlantic kitchen with Katie Kelly's mom, Janice. She's here in studio. And also the latest look at the Monday forecast as we inch closer towards Christmas Day. A little gray here in St. John this morning. The forecast is next.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:12. We're taking a live look at Clark's Harbor. -4 degrees starting off your day. We are expecting a chance of some flurry activity in your area, and that's really across much of Atlantic Canada today. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. It's another colder start to the work week. As of right now, -8 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, -5 starting off your day in Charlottetown. Early this morning, -6 in Halifax, -1 in Sydney, and 4 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Snow squall watches in effect across Prince Edward Island for Antigonish and Pictou counties, looking at up to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls, and wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers per hour. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are going to see a mix of sun and cloud for parts of Atlantic Canada, looking at a bit of shower activity early this morning for parts of Newfoundland, and also seeing a chance of flurries for parts of Atlantic Canada today. Into the afternoon, much of the same. We are going to see flurry activity clear out of New Brunswick, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Other than that, a chance of flurries remains into the evening and overnight hours, carrying us into early Tuesday morning. If you're wondering about visibility, if you're wondering about snowfall, we're looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters across Prince Edward Island for parts of eastern Nova Scotia, and 5 to 10 centimeters of accumulation for Cape Breton Island, 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation across much of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from -11 to -6. A chance of flurries will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Wind gusts of 40. For Prince Edward Island, highs between -6 to -2 degrees. Flurries also throughout your day today. A risk of snow squalls into the afternoon. Wind out of the north, 30 gusting to 50. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, scattered flurries expected throughout your day with highs between -6 to 0. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, also seeing a chance of some flurries throughout the day, and daytime highs between -5 to 1 degree. For Labrador City, a high of -19 degrees today. We're looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day. Showers start off the day for St. John's and Newfoundland with a high of 6. We are going to see showers clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and then flurries arrive into the evening. Tuesday's forecast, another cold day ahead. We are going to see flurry activity for parts of Atlantic Canada remain, with sunshine as well in the forecast. On Christmas Eve, we're going to see flurries return into early Wednesday morning, and then into Thursday, another round of flurry activity headed our way for Christmas Day. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. At some point next year, Nova Scotians will no longer be eligible to receive up to $15,000 in federal funding to switch from oil to a heat pump. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has the details.
Heat pump company owner Brody Sampson says he's been told by federal government officials there are major changes to the $15,000 grants through the oil to heat pump affordability program.
It's not going to continue.
People living in Nova Scotia will no longer be eligible to receive federal funding to switch from oil to a heat pump. The oil to heat pump affordability program will remain in place in the other 3 Atlantic provinces, BC, Ontario, Manitoba, and the Yukon. In this part of the country, more than 9,000 homes previously received heat pump rebates.
Nova Scotia ranks as the second highest province in terms of energy poverty.
In a statement, Natural Resources Canada confirmed with CTV News, due to high demand and successful dissemination of funding in Nova Scotia, program funding will be fully committed in the province in 2026. While the heat pump program from the federal government is winding down, provincial funding will remain in place here in Nova Scotia. Low-income households still get free energy upgrades, including heat pumps. All Nova Scotians are still eligible to apply for up to $5,000 in heat pump rebates, and middle-income households can still receive up to $15,000 through the provincial moderate income rebates program. According to Sampson, the oil to heat pump affordability program will end in Nova Scotia within the next 8 weeks. Customers who haven't yet applied for rebates but plan to in the future will be added to a standby list if additional federal funding becomes available. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Paul. Staying with money matters, have you heard of Thriftmas? Instead of purchasing new, fully priced items, some are opting for second-hand gifts. CTV's Sarah Plowman has more from the thrift shop.
The aisles map the route. Shelves hold the treasure. Thrift stores are full of finds, and Paige Morgan is out to discover them for Christmas.
It's better for the environment and in my pocket. I have a very small pocket.
We have a lot of...
As higher costs drag bank accounts down, thrifters have more company. Home care worker Kathy DeLong helps seniors, and today is helping those who are shut in shop for Christmas.
Everybody's on a fixed income, and especially seniors. They got to watch their money very carefully.
Thrift stores have noticed a lot of traffic this season.
We sold a lot of toys. A lot of families that are coming in that can't seem to afford the full cost of a lot of the stuff, but still want to give the kids things.
Same down the road, where shoppers scoop up furniture or decorations.
It's those, a lot of times it's those unique gift ideas as, oh, I'm looking for something really interesting for a family member. And
this Fredericton consignment store has also noticed a bump in sales.
I think people have caught on that you can stretch your budget further and not sacrifice quality or the styles you want.
Beyond the discount, store owners highlight other perks.
You're not having to, get into the commercialism, and you're repurposing valuable things, people that have loved in the past, and they're getting passed on so someone else can love them just as much.
Another reason for this mom to buy her kids' toys here.
Some toys he gets that are for gifts, I'll find them in the thrift store, like for $5, and it's just better to get them here instead of them going to the landfill.
Swapping Christmas for Thriftmas. One find at a time. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you so much, Sarah. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're heading to the kitchen with Katie Kelly's mom, Janice. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back, 8:22, and time for our popular holiday cooking segment with our colleague Katie Kelly and her mom Janice, who always steals the show.
Steals the show. True that. Yes,
Great
welcome.
To have you all
Thank
here.
you.
I want to know what you're making for us today, Janice.
I'm making a very traditional Henley family recipe. We call it Nanny Henley's goulash.
Yes. Ooh, bring it on.
Yeah, I grew up eating this. And I will say, I think that a lot of Maritimers will definitely recognize the name goulash. Lots of families make it, but I feel like every time I talk to somebody who makes goulash, the recipe is a little bit different, like depending on what noodles they make or what the ingredients are. And this is ours, and it's
it smells amazing. And look, it feels like it's made with pantry staples,
It is.
which is awesome.
It is. It's made with just about everything you have in your...
Okay.
And if you're missing something, it doesn't matter. You make it anyway.
I love it. All right, let's get started.
Okay. So where are we right now? Okay, well, I pre-cooked the hamburger because of time. So, Katie, if you want to turn it up a smidgen. Okay. We had the vegetables. These are the ones that we always put, which is celery. Yep. I already washed my hands, girls.
I saw you do it.
Yes, I did. Okay, talk about this. Okay, so celery and mushroom, you might need to turn up the heat a little. Yep.
And those are canned mushrooms.
Yeah, so this is by request because she likes to use fresh, but the whole family, every time she doesn't use fresh, or every time she does use fresh, they're like, we like canned.
Yeah,
There's something about the canned mushrooms.
I agree. I can sometimes just open up a can of mushrooms and just eat them right out of the can. I don't know.
There is something, they hit different. So definitely do the canned mushrooms, but everything else fresh. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so what all did you put in? Okay, so you just fry your hamburger, then add your vegetables. Don't overcook the vegetables because then they get too soft. So, cook until they're, as they say, al dente. Yep. Do that. And Okay, so onion, celery, and green pepper is what we've added. And mushroom, yes. Mushroom, and the salt canned and mushroom. pepper, that's right. So you cook that until they're cooked, but a little tiny crunchy. So then in the meantime, while that's cooking, you're going to boil a whole package of spaghetti.
Okay.
Okay, so just... Which you've already done. Which I've already done. And the recipe takes 4 cans of tomato soup.
Okay.
And so what I do is, as soon as the spaghetti is cooked, I put 2 cans in with that so it doesn't stick and all of that.
Smart.
Yep. And then when this is done, when all the vegetables are finished, you're going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic, or you could
minced garlic yourself if you prefer.
Faster,
Yeah, and then a teaspoon of oregano.
Yep.
Obviously, lots of salt and pepper. And then, when this is finished cooking, you add your tomato soup, the other 2 cans to this, and mix it in. And I actually let it cook a little bit before I add it to the spaghetti.
Yeah, okay.
And then you just combine the two and reheat it on low on the stove because it does have a tendency to burn.
What's this stuff for the
Oh, the onion soup mix. I forgot about that. That goes in here as well.
Okay, so you would put this in.
Yep. If you
Yep.
want, we can add it now because that's cooking.
Actually, it is. Okay, great. And then what's this?
That's homemade mustard pickles. Now, my mother didn't make them, God bless her heart, because she passed.
Yeah.
But a lady in Sheet Harbor, Ola Curry, makes them, and I tell her she makes the second best mustard pickles on the Eastern Shore because Mom made the best.
So that's just a garnish.
That's just a garnish.
That was there for show.
Okay, I love
It's there
it.
for show, but if you have homemade mustard pickles at home, it just is a bonus.
It adds a little zing.
Do you want to add the minced garlic?
Okay, I'll let Katie do it because she's done this before.
Okay.
Bring it all over you. Now, for people at home who know Katie Kelly's expecting a little one,
yes.
What's that little one going to call you, Janice?
Nanny.
Nanny.
Yeah.
Which?
Okay, so this is for the minced, and then that's for the...
Okay, so Crystal, every year, so we only have about a minute left. Every year when Mom comes on the show, she likes to do her shout-outs.
Yeah.
So say hi to your people.
Okay. I love all my people. They live on the Eastern Shore. Our catchment area for our community is East Ship Harbor down to Ecum-Secum. And I just love all those little communities. They each have their own identity, but yet collectively we're members of the Eastern Shore. And so I want to say Merry Christmas to all of them. And if I could also say Merry Christmas to Dana Rutherford, because Dana, this is the 8th year I've been on, I think, and he asks me every year to say his name.
Yay, Dana!
Oh my gosh.
Let's make a fuss about Dana. That big of a helping? Oh, is that for you or is that for me?
That's for you.
Oh,
okay,
bring it on.
so we didn't really do the beauty shot, so we've got a finished one here because this is what it looks like once everything is done. And honestly, Crystal, it's better the next day.
Is it exactly? Have some pickles with it. Oh, yes, you can eat it cold at midnight.
All right, I got to grab
it. It's good cold. It's good. It's honestly 1 to 2 days later is like
just as good.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this. This would just be a nice thing to make too, to like take to somebody that's have something going on with the family.
It's perfect for potlucks.
Yes.
And what we like about it over the Christmas season is that you eat a lot of turkey and ham and lobster and salmon, all of which is delicious. But this is just a quick and easy one-pot dinner.
Oh my gosh, my mom made something like this when I was a kid. It's bringing back memories. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
For sharing your mom with us.
Of course.
So Janice's
Thank you, Mama.
recipes on our website, and now we're going to turn our attention over to break. Yay, we'll take a little break. Yay, get to eat this. Woo! Well, it's 8:27. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Bye. Is it good?
Still ahead this morning, a decorative display will share a story about a Nova Scotia man that goes above and beyond to spread Christmas cheer in his neighborhood. That's coming up in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:31 on your Monday morning, inching towards Santa arriving and coming back to town. Very excited.
Yeah.
Also very excited for Santa to arrive, spend Christmas with my family, and then take down that tree.
Oh, really? Oh, you've had it up for a
You're
bit.
done?
Usually I keep it up until after New Year's, but with these kids, I've redecorated this tree like 1 billion times. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
That's it. The tree is what it is.
Yeah, we'll take one final picture with the boys and the tree and then wrap it up.
It's coming down. You're ready.
Yeah, this year's the year.
Gosh.
They're just meddling with
it. It's too busy. Too busy. Well, you know what? The holidays are a lot of work. A lot of joy.
Oh, they are a lot of work, absolutely. But this recipe, which here it is, people, delicious. Oh my gosh,
so good.
Not hard and easy.
Yeah,
I will be making that over the holidays. Everyone will love it. There you go. There it is. There it is in its finished state. All the glory. It's delicious. Real taste of
yum.
all people going in for it.
Yep.
The paper plates are coming out. Sometimes I love having a nice, comforting meal, too, especially when it's so cold out.
Exactly, and something easy to whip up for the family as well during the busy holiday season. So today we're looking at sunshine for much of the region, but also a chance of some flurry activity. So not too bad starting off your day. Here's a live look at Perth, Andover. It is cold this morning. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. A bit cloudy this morning. So some areas are seeing cloudy start to the day. Others will see a mix of sun and cloud. -8 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton. -4 in Yarmouth. -6 heading outdoors in Halifax. -5 in Charlottetown. -13 degrees right now in Cartwright. -2 in Gander. Factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot colder this morning across Atlantic Canada. We do have a risk of frostbite in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, as well as Labrador City. Keep that in mind when you are heading out this morning. Snow squall watches in effect across Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia. This will be until Tuesday morning, so visibility could become an issue in those areas. Over to our satellite and radar. So sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada. Also seeing a bit of shower activity early this morning for parts of Newfoundland. That will clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies in your area. Seeing sunshine in the forecast as well. In terms of the wind out of the north and northwest this morning, 44 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 33 into St. John, New Brunswick, 35 in Lunenburg, 31 in Halifax. Wind gusts of up to 52 kilometers per hour this morning in Edmonton, 57 in Canso, 41 in Grand Etang, and 43 in Halifax. We'll take one last look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. And we begin with breaking news. Firefighters in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia, just outside of Halifax, are fighting a fire in Fisherman's Cove. Halifax Fire tells CTV News they've been battling a blaze at 99 Government Wharf since 3 a.m. The fire has not spread to other buildings. It is still burning, but firefighters anticipate the building is a total loss. Now, at this hour, there are no reported injuries. Halifax fire members are still on scene. We'll continue to follow this story on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. Hundreds of Maritimers still without power this morning after high winds knocked them off the grid Friday and Saturday. The storm toppled trees and knocked over signs. At its peak, over 129,000 power customers in the Maritimes were in the dark. Utility crews have been working around the clock to restore power. This morning, more than 700 customers in Nova Scotia are still waiting for their power to return. Restoration times range from this afternoon to tonight. In New Brunswick, more than 500 customers are still off the grid this morning, with restoration times ranging from this afternoon to tomorrow night. The hardest hit regions were the Fredericton and Sussex areas. NB Power says it will be a multi-day event before all customers have their power back. One of New Brunswick's most popular tourist spots was partially flooded on Sunday. Water levels were around a foot high in places at the Pointe du Chêne Wharf. Most of the water was in front of a restaurant and ice cream bar, both closed for the season. Neither businesses were damaged. Some locals say they were caught off guard by the high tides, while others call it a common occurrence.
We do normally get lunar tides that bring in a higher tide. Normally you'll see storms that bring in water like this. It's fairly calm and nice today, but today it's a little higher than it usually is at this time of year. Normally in January is when you're going to see the higher tides in this area.
I was really surprised. It almost reminded me of one of the past hurricanes that we may have had, just a really high tide.
Hurricane Fiona caused millions of dollars in damage to the wharf in 2022. The federal and provincial governments spent over $10 million to help restore it and protect it from future storms. Another milestone on the ice for Cole Harbour's Sidney Crosby. Crosby broke Mario Lemieux's franchise scoring record with a goal and an assist in the first period of the Pittsburgh Penguins game against the Habs last night.
I mean, it's kind of mixed emotions, I guess, because, that's, that number I've been kind of hanging around. The hockey gods made me earn it, I feel like, the last few games. But just to get the win, to get a win in a shootout, it all kind of lined up well tonight.
Crosby, who began the night 1 point behind Lemieux, now has 645 goals and 1,079 assists. A Moncton musician who had a benefit concert held in his honor is now helping another drummer who is in need of a little help himself right now. CTV's Derek Haggett has their story.
There was never any doubt who was going to fill in when the Motor League needed a new drummer. Johnny Flanagan is taking the spot of Tom T-Bone Antle temporarily while Antle receives treatments for lung cancer.
Well, Tom's one of my best friends, you know, and when I went through my diagnosis, he was there from day one.
For the second time in less than 2 years, Moncton's music community is rallying to help a drummer battle cancer. Flanagan was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer about 2 years ago, and Antle made sure the Motor League played at his benefit show in 2024.
I mean, when Johnny got sick, Tom was the first one. We're doing a benefit. We're playing a show. We're gonna help John.
Now, Flanagan is part of another fundraiser, this time for T-Bone.
He's been better for sure. Yeah, he's definitely going through it. He's taking the first steps of a very long journey to recovery. So we love him to death. We really wish he was with us.
Proceeds from Saturday's show, along with a GoFundMe campaign, will help financially while receiving treatments. The significance and timing of having Flanagan fill in for their drummer is not lost on the band.
We've known Johnny as long as we've known Tom. You know, we've been just as close with Johnny. So that, you know, that one was a punch in the stomach for sure. And then for it to happen again, you know, with our own drummer, T-Bone, it was a lot.
It's surreal, you know, all the support from Smile for Johnny, and now this show for Tom. It's just, it's unbelievable to see all the community to pull together like this.
Flanagan says he's been feeling pretty good lately and is enjoying a break from treatments over the holidays. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Thank you, Derek, for that story there.
Beautiful. Community coming together.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, well, we love a Santa sighting. The jolly old elf himself was spotted at the Saskatchewan Aviation Museum in an interesting craft, not a sleigh. His sleigh apparently getting ready for the big night. So Santa sat in a 1952 North American Harvard MK4 plane, and then they unveiled these Then they unveiled these little planes for the kids to play on at the museum. They're little pedal planes. I wish I made them just slightly bigger. I don't think we could fit in that.
Oh, they had the Leafs there too. That's good. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Maple Leafs?
So you can hang out, you can go check out this museum, and you can go into the. I love a good aviation museum, so this is just indulgent. I wanted to share this, but yeah, Santa, he has to find creative ways to get around because that sleigh is getting loaded down with gifts right now.
Oh yeah, he's preparing for the big night.
Yeah, final stretch for that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, coming up.
All right, well, speaking of what's taking place in Saskatchewan, we'll talk about what's taking place here on our community calendar. So first up, you can sharpen those blades and grab something warm. The ice at River Valley Community Center is ready for you. So on Tuesday, December 23rd, from 11:45 a.m. to 1 p.m., there will be a senior skate session. For additional information, head over to their Facebook page. And Nativity Night of Music, will hit the stage tonight at Summerside. So you can head over to Harbourfront Theatre tonight at 6:30 p.m. to see the timeless story of the first Christmas performed by children. Aww. This performance will have a sing-along and classic music that you'll know, of course. For tickets, head over to their website. And you can come out and enjoy some lunchtime fun on the ice, whether you are looking to get a little exercise, unwind with coworkers, or just enjoy a midday skate. Scotiabank Center will be open for sessions for all ages and skill levels. Just bring your skates, a helmet if you need one, if you're of that age, and head over to their website for a full schedule.
Fun.
That's fun. You could pretend you're in a show.
You're like, we're like a moose head.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm a moose head. Oh my gosh.
And if you do have an upcoming event, please send us the details, Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca. Time now, 8:41. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this. Some action early this morning over in Wentworth. Welcome back. The time now is 8:44, -6 degrees in your area, and expecting flurries throughout your day today. We are going to see a bit of flurry activity for much of the region and another cold start to the day. We're kind of getting used to it by now, though. As of right now, -8 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, -5 early this morning in Charlottetown, -1 in Sydney, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Snow squall watches in effect across Prince Edward Island, Antigonish, and Pictou counties. This is for this morning until Tuesday morning. We can see 15 to 20 centimeters within those snow squalls, wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers per hour. Seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada early this morning, but also some active weather. For parts of Newfoundland, looking at a chance of flurries and or showers early this morning. Also seeing flurry activity for parts of Labrador, as well as into the Maritime region. In the afternoon, a bit of sunshine remains in our forecast, but also going to see those flurries remain as we head towards this evening and into early Tuesday morning. If you're wondering about the snowfall, we are going to see around 1 to 5 centimeters across Prince Edward Island, parts of eastern Nova Scotia, and 5 to 10 centimeters of accumulation for Cape Breton Island. Looking at 1 to 5 centimeters across parts of Newfoundland. So for today, flurries start off the day for New Brunswick. Will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Daytime highs ranging from -11 to -6 degrees and wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour. Also seeing flurry activity across Prince Edward Island today with highs between -6 to -2. Looking at risk of snow squalls into the afternoon. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, scattered flurries throughout your day. Daytime highs between -6 to 0. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at scattered flurries as well with highs between -5 to 1 degree in Yarmouth and wind gusts of 50 as well. Labrador City looking at a high of -19 degrees with flurries expected throughout your day. 6 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Starting off the day with showers, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and flurries return into the evening. For Tuesday's forecast, we are going to see sunshine return, another cold day ahead with flurries also remaining for parts of Atlantic Canada. On Christmas Eve, starting off the day with some flurry activity moving in and then clearing out. And then for Christmas Day, we're looking at flurries returning across much of Atlantic Canada, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. 8:46. And in case you missed it, here are some stories about Atlantic Canadians who are spreading holiday cheer in our region. First, we meet a man who's on a mission to bring a smile to the face of everyone who passes by his home. CTV's Vanessa Wright takes us on a tour of his holiday headquarters.
Cavalier Drive in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia is normally quiet. But that's until around November when this house on the corner gets ready for Christmas.
Half of the things you see or hear now are really not even half the things I got because I don't have enough room for all the things I got.
It's a tradition owner Paul Bowden says came alive 27 years ago when he was visiting his in-laws who had their home decked out. He came back and decided to do the same.
From that day on, I just continued to put up lights in the house, buy lights, buy ornaments, and hopefully it brings a smile to the community and a smile to people's faces.
And whether big or small, he has it all.
I like to try to buy something that no one has. And what I do is I just go by and I think it's going to fit in the spot, and then I just put it in the spot.
And at nighttime, the display is even more electrifying with thousands of lights. It's a passion close to his heart that has braved many storms.
14 years ago, we had some kids ransack some of the ornaments I had here, and the community rallied around me. And they bought me items. They went to Canadian Tire and bought me lights. And one of the messages that they sent me was, please don't stop doing what you're doing. And then I vowed just to make it bigger and bigger and better.
It quickly became something special in the community.
I have 3 sons. When they were younger, they used to come by this house, and they always told me how nice it was and how welcoming they felt.
Well, we have 2 kids, small kids, and they love to see the lights over here. We just bought the house in 2022. From that time onwards, this is a tradition. They love it.
Sometimes you might see someone having a bad day or some kids having a bad day or families having a bad day.
But if they pass by his house and a smile creeps on their face, he knows it's a mission accomplished. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia.
And in case you missed it, here's a story about a mother's dedication. Patricia McNeil lost her daughter Alyssa in 2020. Now every year she collects pajamas and sleepwear to donate to seniors at Christmas time in her memory.
CTV's Mike Lamb checks out Alyssa's Angels.
So this is our 5th year for Alyssa's Angels Jammies for Grammys. We're very proud of how it's grown over the years. The initiative was to buy pajamas for one wing of a small nursing home in honor of our daughter who had passed away in 2020, brain cancer. Alyssa's favorite thing was always to give pajamas at Christmas. She loved them. She loved to give them. So we decided we'd take a small wing and provide pajamas for that wing. As soon as my friends and family found out about it, the first year we finished 1 home. The next year we moved up to 4 homes. It just kept growing and growing, and now we're up to 13 homes, which is almost 1,500 pajamas, nighties, and specialty sleepwear. We get our pajamas from our Alyssa's Angels. So to become an angel, you just contact us either through Facebook or Instagram, and we'll provide you with a Grammy or a Grampy of your very own. We give you their first name and their size and their preference. So your job is to go out and shop for your Grammy or Grampy, drop it off to one of our locations, and we bring it back home here. We wrap them lovingly, handwrite a card from you, and they're all delivered the week before Christmas. So all the seniors have their gifts before Christmas morning. I know that Alyssa's looking down at us, and she's so proud. It's thanks to my girlfriends and our Alyssa's Angels. I can't take credit for this. It's the angels out there that provide us with the pajamas and love to share their love with everybody else. And that's my girl. My girl made a difference everywhere she went. She had the biggest heart, and I know she would be very proud. And if she were here, she'd be right in the middle of it.
Merry Christmas! All right, beautiful story. We're going to take another break. We'll return just after this one, 8:50, early this morning, taking a look at St. John's Newfoundland. I'm
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. All right, it's time now where we share your answers to the Move Morning Chat. So today we're basically asking, like, if you're ready for the big day, if you're ready for Christmas, if there's anything else that you need to do. I think you guys are in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
We begin with this text. Karen Harker from Dartmouth says, I'm done and all ready for Christmas. My plan was to enjoy December, and that's happened. Now enjoying time with friends and family, waiting for Santa. Good for you, Karen. Put up your feet.
Loyal viewer, Karen. We know she does a lot of baking.
Yeah.
So I guess that's all done. Good job, Karen.
Love that for you. And then Mike from Sydney said, all done, except for a visit to NSLC. Maybe just the last minute thing, right? Maybe you're making a cocktail, some wine for the family, bringing wine somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's a good point, too. If you do have errands that you need to run, now is a great time to look at those store hours.
Oh, yes.
See when they're open and closed, because, oh, boy, the last thing you want to do is just run around looking for something because the store's closed.
Exactly.
For sure. Or that panic, you don't have something and you look around and there's just nothing left.
Oh, my husband did that this weekend. He was getting groceries, and I said, if you can get some extra sour cream, that would be great. And he'd sent me a photo of the fridge, and there was, like,
empty.
What's the deal with sour cream? Same.
Really?
Same. Cleaned out.
Yoo-hoo.
It's funny because I had to do, like, a couple different grocery runs because of the power and everything. And then I came home after, like, doing so much groceries, still missed so many things. So I ran over to another store, empty shelves everywhere for like 90% of the stuff. So I was like, yep, can't get that.
Yeah. Oh, the other things I noticed in short supply, chocolate. Like chocolate bars, because I wanted to make like a bark situation.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. I was buying chocolate bark too, because I'm doing something similar, and that was difficult. I kind of had to do a little mismatch of different brands.
I've done that before,
melted down.
They melt at different speeds. Like, it's not ideal. You can do it, but it's not
ideal. I know.
Well, we have time for a last lap. This one is kind of funny, but not very nice, maybe. I don't know. It's a ridiculous video, but here's how you identify a mockingbird.
Oh, I know this.
Oh, wow. Was that a mockingbird?
Is that a mockingbird?
Yeah, go on with your walk. Go about your day.
What a jerk, that bird.
I love this one so much. I say this one all the time at home. If we see like birds that I know it's not a mockingbird, but I'm like, oh, is it a mockingbird?
I'd say that is a mockingbird.
Oh, yeah.
What a jerk.
Oh, so
that's a good one.
Good. Okay, well, we hope you join us on the show tomorrow, because we do have a show tomorrow. We won't be here Christmas Eve, but we are back tomorrow. Important stuff. We're going to have the Canadian Red Cross on. They're going to be talking about winter safety. Earlier today, we had Halifax Fire talking about like holiday safety.
Yeah.
This is like general winter safety, what you should have in the house. Case of a power outage, all the rest of that. So that's coming up tomorrow.
Amazing. And pet safety too, right?
Yes, we do. Pet safety for the winter season.
Wonderful. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Good luck with that shopping.
Be safe.
Latavia.